Welcome to Star Citizen and the second part of the XXL Trading Guide. In this part, we focus on the illegal area of the trade and show you all the lucrative illegal trade opportunities, give you some tips and tricks that can significantly increase your income, and also take a look at some underestimated legal trade goods that often unjustly receive very little attention. We start with medical supplies, which are more widely available but also offer a slightly higher investment risk. The sticking point for a possible profit margin, however, is the limited possibility of selling, since most stations are happy to buy medical supplies at stable prices but only in small quantities. The exception here is New Babbage on Microtech, where we can sell medical supplies in larger quantities in the trading district, as well as the admin console. With this, we achieve a good 73 in the rating, whereby we can recommend that you always have something on board with larger ships if you fly to several outposts. The gas Astatine offers even better availability, which makes it interesting for larger ships, as well as a manageable investment risk and a respectable profit margin. This, a C2 cargo on Microtech from the Shubing Mining SMO-22 with a jump to New Babbage, offers a good up to 140,000 Alpha USC profit, and that with an absolute minimum flight time. Thanks to the low risk, the many trading options, as well as the manageable investment amount, Astatine thus achieves a good 74 in the rating. Also often underestimated is Quartz, which offers good availability as well as a low purchase price, which keeps the investment risk very low. However, we also have the rather manageable profit margin here. Purchasing is possible on a broad basis in Microtech, Crusader or Area 18. As is selling, all through we can achieve the best prices on Area 18. And with a C2, almost 100,000 Alpha USC profit per round is possible, whereby we are very price stable here, since Quartz is usually not noticed by any traders. This gives us a passable rating of 58, whereby we can recommend larger ships in particular. And as a bonus, however, the overall risk is very low. We also achieve a similar effect with copper, which is also underestimated, although we find somewhat poorer availability here, which is more than sufficient due to the low demand even for larger ships. Especially in the area of Microtech or Crusader, we have good purchasing opportunities, whereby a C2 cargo here can bring a good 85,000 Alpha USC, and that with an even lower risk. Quartz and copper are particularly suitable at the beginning of a trader's career to build up a basic capital or not to pull all your eggs in one basket. Because as a reminder, in the event of a loss, your investment is basically completely gone. And that brings us to the end of the relevant legal trade goods and to the illegal trade. However, we must first distinguish the illegal trade into two areas. On the one hand, the classic buying and selling of illegal goods, and on the other hand, the sale of illegally acquired goods of others. So goods from looted players or material that we have, let's call it, found. We will first show you the very lucrative classic buying and selling of illegal goods and start with the king of the trading system, the drug SLAM. This maximally rare and maximally expensive material allows a profit of a good 300,000 Alpha USC per load, already with small ships like a Cutlass Black, whereby we are on the way with 500,000 Alpha USC investment risk at dubious trading places. Because the risk with illegal goods increases significantly again, as in most cases we are traveling in areas where the appropriate customers are also present and usually shoot first and ask questions later. Therefore, arming yourself and keeping a watchful eye is a must when you go shopping. We also recommend that you always keep your ship systems active when trading and that you keep your shields up for protection. With about 12,000 Alpha USC per SCU in purchase and a maximum of 80,000 Alpha USC in sale, SLAM offers the maximum profit margin with 6,000 Alpha USC. However, even with a Cutlass Black, there can be waiting times to fill it, whereby we recommend that you take suitable other and usually lucrative alternative trade goods with you, which we will of course also introduce to you straight away before you have to wait too long. Because the longer you stay at drug labs like on Lyria, Sullen or Jumptown on Yila, the risk increases exponentially. And on the subject of Jumptown, yes, there is of course a more lucrative trade good in the Jumptown event. However, this is not a trade good in the true sense, as we cannot buy it. For the sale of illegal trade goods, we find the special no questions asked consoles like on Crew L5 as well as on various dubious scrapyards, which, however, also only accept small quantities for sale. For Slam, Samson & Sons on Walla or the Briar's Breaker Yard on Daymar is a good choice. Due to the extreme risk, but also a maximum profit margin, Slam achieves a good 72 in the rating and is especially suitable for small to maximum medium-sized chips. And if you want to sell found or captured goods, you will also find it possible to sell them at the dubious stations. However, you will usually only receive lower prices for your stolen goods. To find a suitable buyer for your stolen goods, we again recommend SC Trade Tools, where you can simply specify the quantity and material with the best buyer option and activate the stolen cargo option here. However, the prices can fluctuate more, depending on the current demand in the area. Another extremely lucrative option is Widow, which is also available in extremely limited quantities and promises only a slightly lower risk and profit compared to Slam. With about 10,000 Alpha USC in purchase and 40,000 in sale, a good 4,000 Alpha USC profit can be made. Although we can find other stations like New and Waste, NT999 and the Necropolis for purchase. But also, here the goods availability is already very low, and already with smaller ships there can be waiting times. Whereby we also recommend here to take alternative illegal trade goods like Etem, Neon or Ultruxia Toxin, which also promise a very good profit. Because for illegal trade, the motto is to get the ship full as much material as possible, as quickly as possible and leave the scenery so as not to get other players to do something stupid. With this, Widow also achieves a rating roughly equal to that of Slam, which will also continue for most of the illegal goods. Because the risks are high due to the very high prices, as is the general risk of danger for the locations to be approached. Although the profit usually remains much higher than with legal goods. Because with the next commodity, Etem, we find a very similar picture again. For all illegal goods, the risk as well as the profit decreases only slightly, while the generally high level is maintained. Therefore, we recommend to equip your ships in descending order from Slam to Widow and Etem up to the remaining products in the illegal sector, in order to achieve the highest possible profit when selling. Because realistically, with, for example, a Cutlass Black and 46 SCU cargo capacity, a good 250,000 Alpha USC profit is already possible without specializing or fixing on one of the goods. We find Etem in the area of Lyria, Daymar or on Yila, also with a maximum storage capacity of up to 50 SCU, whereby we set off again in the direction of Samson & Sons, Briar's Breaker Yard or to Grim Hex in order to make the highest possible profits. In the rating, we sink with Etem to 71, which is justified by the unchanged high risks but the slightly reduced profit opportunities. Other very lucrative illegal commodities are Mace and Neon, which also have a strong profit margin. And less interesting in the illegal sector are Stims, Revenant Tree Pollen or Distilled Spirits. For these goods, mass is again required to make a profit. But now we come to the tips and tricks on how you can significantly increase the value of your trading excursions, whether legal or illegal, and this often make more profit than with the trade itself. On the one hand, it is generally a good idea to take the loot from crates at the various outposts, where you have to go to the terminal anyway, as you can usually find several pieces of armor, weapons or rare items here. And specialities such as picoballs and other rare items are also possible. This gives you a good plus for your trade after you can sell most of it again at the weapon or armor dealer, whereby you alternatively never have the problem of having to fear an equipment shortage. Another tip is to combine your trade routes with delivery orders by the mission system, as the routes have to be flown anyway, and as a positive side effect, you can complete orders, get paid for them and also increase your reputation for the mission system. And if you don't shy away from retrieval missions, if you want to put up with a fight or two, you can also throw countless additional items of equipment into your cargo hold through NPCs. Here it is also a good idea to accept the mission A Call to Arms, because for every enemy you shoot from your ship, you will receive several thousand alpha UC on top. In addition to your cargo, the equipment you can sell, and of course the mission reward. However, a warning. If you are carrying very valuable and expensive cargo, such as gold or beryl, even on larger ships, it is advisable to be on the safe side and not to risk the cargo under any circumstances.